What do you think connects the armor of some ancient warrior to the wing of a modern jet fighter? Well, the answer is hiding in plain sight. It's steel. But the real secret is a story of fire, speed, and a crazy transformation that happens on a level you can't even see. Okay, let's get right into it, because what looks like just a simple, solid piece of metal is actually a whole world of incredible complexity. Today, we're going to follow the journey steel takes to go from, pretty ordinary to absolutely extraordinary, all by unlocking the power that's hidden inside its tiny crystals. So, to really get how steel becomes so strong, we have to zoom in. I mean, way in. We need to look right past that solid gray surface and see the microscopic world that's buzzing with activity inside. Right. So what we think of as just a solid lump of steel is actually more like a composite material. You can almost picture it as a landscape made up of all these different microscopic neighborhoods, and each one has its own unique vibe and its own properties. So let's meet the main resident of this little city, a stuff called ferrite. Think of ferrite as the foundation, kind of the bedrock of the whole thing. It's pretty much pure iron, and it's what gives steel its basic softness and its ability to be bent and shaped, its ductility. And here you can actually see it. What's so cool about this is you can see the individual grains of ferrite. Each one of these little shapes is a tiny crystal. And the way they're all packed together, well, that forms the basic skeleton of the steel before we start messing with it. But ferrite isn't in there alone. Living right alongside it is another structure, and this one's called pearlite. Now, pearlite isn't just one thing, it's a mix. It's made of these super thin alternating layers of that soft ferrite we just met, and an incredibly hard, brittle compound called cementite. And wow, check this out. This image shows you exactly what makes pearlite so special. Look at that pattern. It almost looks like wood grain, right? It's those alternating layers of soft and hard stuff that give pearlite its strength, making it way, way harder than just plain old ferrite by itself. Okay, so we've got our microscopic city with its neighborhoods of ferrite and pearlite, but all of that is about to completely change. And the catalyst for this whole revolution? Heat. Now, this isn't just about getting the steel hot. No. There is a very specific, almost magical temperature that's known as the critical temperature. For a typical low-carbon steel, the real transformation kicks off around 720 degrees Celsius. Once we cross that line, it's like the old rulebook just gets tossed out the window. So as that steel gets hotter and hotter and blows past that critical temperature, that familiar world of ferrite and pearlite just starts to dissolve. The old structures literally break down and start to reorganize themselves into something completely new. And to guide us on this trip, we've got this, the iron-carbon phase diagram. This thing is basically the master map for anybody who works with steel. You can see on the map we're moving up, up, up into that region marked with the little gamma symbol. That's our destination. And that gamma symbol stands for austenite. In this state, all those carbon atoms that were locked up tight in the cementite, they completely dissolve into the iron, creating this perfectly uniform, single-phase material. It's like a blank canvas, a state of pure potential where we can create totally new things. I mean, just look at the difference here. The complex layers of pearlite, the distinct grains of ferrite, they're all gone. Austenite has this clean, uniform structure. It's a complete reset, a moment of perfect balance right before the most important part of the whole process begins. So we've made this perfect blank canvas of austenite, but everything, and I mean absolutely everything, hinges on what we do next. The speed at which we cool the steel down is going to decide its final form, its properties, and its power. The steel basically has two possible fates. If we cool it down slowly, that's a process called annealing. The atoms have plenty of time to just casually find their way back to their old homes, and we get that soft, predictable ferrite and pearlite again. But if we cool it super fast, plunging it into water or oil, which is called quenching, it's total chaos. The atoms are frozen solid right where they are before they have any chance to move. And you know what's wild? This isn't some newfangled discovery. People in the ancient world knew all about the power of a rapid quench. Homer actually describes it in the Odyssey, comparing the sound of the Cyclops' eye being pierced to the sizzle a blacksmith hears when he plunges a red-hot axe head into cold water to make it hard. For metallurgists today, this is the playbook for that quench. It's called a time-temperature transformation diagram, or TTT for short. Basically, it shows a race against time. See that curve that sticks out, that nose? That's the danger zone where the old, soft pearlite starts to form.
To get that super hard steel, you have to cool so fast that you completely miss that zone. It's a high-stakes sprint to the finish line.
So what happens when you win that race? When you quench the steel so incredibly fast that all those atoms get trapped? Well, you don't get ferrite or pearlite. You actually force the creation of something completely new.
You get Martensite. And this stuff is a bizarre, super strained crystal structure. Those carbon atoms are trapped where they just don't fit, and they warp the iron's crystal structure, creating a ton of internal stress. And that stress is exactly what makes Martensite unbelievably hard, but it also makes it very brittle.
So this whole process, heating it up to create that uniform austenite and then flash cooling it to trap the atoms and create Martensite, that is the fundamental secret behind pretty much all high-performance steel. It's how we literally tell the building blocks of the material what we want them to do.
And you see the results of this every single day, probably without even thinking about it. Those strong but light parts in cars and planes, the tough stainless steel in your kitchen, huge industrial machines, critical parts in power plants. Yep, all of them depend on these super controlled heat treatments to get the job done. So I think the biggest thing to take away from all this is that steel isn't just one material. By mastering this little dance of heat and time, we can take a basic recipe of iron and carbon and unlock this nearly endless library of properties. We can create a custom-made material for pretty much any job you can dream of. We've figured out how to command the atoms inside steel to build incredible things for us. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other secrets are hiding inside the everyday materials all around us, just waiting for somebody to find the right key?